HMV Canada is no more. Hey everybody, I'm Jesse, and it was announced a couple months ago, maybe less, I don't even remember now, that HMV was going to be closing all of their Canadian stores, which didn't shock me. It surprised me a little bit that they were going to close them all at once. I thought maybe they would do 30 to 50%, to start with, and then just die a really slow death. But now they just went all out and closed them all at once. And I'm not really that sorry to see them go. I never found anything particularly special about going to HMV. Back in the day when they were much smaller and there was more competition, they were the worst of the bunch in terms of pricing and selection. And even by the time they closed or announced their closing, um, their selection of music and movies, I mean, it was better, but it still wasn't great. For me, I stopped buying CDs quite a while ago, unless it's like some special collector type edition. Um, it's very rare that I would buy a CD anymore. I'll either listen to it on Apple Music, iTunes, but if I'm going to buy a physical copy, it's going to be vinyl. I'm a big vinyl fan, and although HMV did add vinyl to their stores, it's definitely not worth going there just to look at vinyl because they had practically nothing anyway. Um, and they got rid of video games a few years ago, and then just kept adding more and more merchandise, tons of shirts, mugs, jewelry, pops. I mean, the pops make sense, but all kinds of like different figures and blankets and plushies and pillows and to the point where like, what kind of a store is it anymore? Like a pop culture kind of store, sort of. I don't know. And selling headphones as well. And the thing is, they never had the best price. I mean, I would go in there. Um, and look, even once the blowout sale started, going out of business sale started, was only like up to 25% off or something like that. So I would pick up Blu-rays of like Game of Thrones or anime or whatever. I'd look them up on Amazon on my phone, and Amazon's regular price was still cheaper. So that's kind of a problem. And I did find myself doing that a lot the odd time that I would go into HMV. Um, I would pick something up and I'd look it up on Amazon or somewhere else, and it was cheaper, so I would just get it from there. And as for all the other merch and stuff that they had, you could get that at a lot of other stores as well, like comic book stores, um, Toys R Us or Walmart or Amazon, of course. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, back in the day when there was a lot more competition, they were far from my favorite. I was a big fan of Music World and Record Runner. Um, but yeah, I mean, it sucks for all the people who are losing their jobs. But on the plus side, um, a lot of the HMV stores are have been bought up by Sunrise Records, which I've never heard of before. They're based in Toronto, I think. And I read that they'll be looking to hire ex HMV employees. So it looks like a lot of people who are losing their jobs at HMV are going to get to be hired by Sunrise. So that's good. And I looked up Sunrise, and they're really into vinyl, so that's going to be cool to see. So apparently their stores are going to be, I guess they'll have some merch, but not nearly the amount that HMV did. They're going to be focused more on music, and I think some movies too, but like lots of vinyl. And it sounds like their catalog, even for CDs too, is going to be um, much wider. You have a much better selection and stuff. So, and they're going to be opening fairly soon, I think. And they just expanded their list. Some of the malls here in Ottawa, Rideau Center, which is the closest to us, um, that HMV location will be turned into a Sunrise. So that's cool. We can just walk there to check it out. But there's also other locations opening up around here too, and Place d'Orleans, which is the first place that I heard of, and Carlingwood, Saint Laurent. Um, that might be it. There were a bunch of other HMV locations too, but they're not all being bought up by Sunrise. But even if it's just those 3 or 4 there, that's plenty. That's still really good. So I waited and waited until maybe the last week and a half before I decided to buy anything myself. I decided I'm not going to buy anything um, unless it's something I really do want and it's going to be cheaper than Amazon. And that did eventually happen. Um, this is what I picked up. Eastbound and Down, Blu-ray, season 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those were all $10 each, which is very cheap. The Secret of Nim, my favorite animated, or at least my favorite G-rated animated movie of all time. I saw that in the theater when it came out in '82 or whatever it was. That was like $7. And iZombie season 1 and 2. One of them was, I think, $17, and the other was 19. So everything was cheaper than Amazon and iTunes. So those were definitely worth buying. I'm glad I picked those up. So HMV, I kind of liked you, didn't love you. Not really that sorry to see you go. I'm sorry to say. I am looking forward to Sunrise though, and I hope everybody who was employed by HMV that still wants to work in a store like that gets picked up by Sunrise, so nobody's out of work. And to any other Canadians out there who picked up anything during their closing sale, leave some comments down below. What did you pick up? Did you get a good deal? And what are your thoughts on HMV closing? Do you care all that much? Are you like me, or are you really gonna miss it? Anyways, that's it. That's all. Thank you very much for watching. Please give this video a like if you liked it, and see ya.